So, here we are once again with Abzan Elves. Right now I'm testing Necromantia. I added extra black sources, as I've said in a previous video, the one with against Golgari Elves. I have 2 overgrown tombs and one nurturing peatland. I removed the horizon canopy and 1 forest. I'm trying the Necromantia to see if it can help me more than Thoughtseize did. It's not like I'm disappointed from Thoughtseize, but I do want to try to find a better configuration for the deck and for the sideboard the past few weeks. So let's see how the next matchup goes, and how good actually Necromantia could or will be. So game 1, unknown opponent. We don't see any companions, but to be honest, we don't see as many companions anymore since Lurus died, let's say, since it was banned. The first one wasn't a good hand. It didn't have anything. It just had a scavenging ooze, some tutors. It wasn't to be kept. I wouldn't keep it. Here I'm gonna keep it because I have 2 nurturing peatlands too, which I can crack if needed. And I'm gonna bottom the Cavern of Souls. This way I can crack my Windswept Heath and my Verdant Catacombs in order to thin the deck a little bit. Not much, but we can always try. That was a good draw. Collected Company is always a card that we want. So first we're gonna attack. At this point I do believe that's something with Renensakes and Ragavan, because I see Wooded Foothills. I fetch for the Temple Garden to be prepared for Devoted Druid. And I get Furied. And they play Fire and Ice and Fury. This probably means that I'm playing against Rhinos. Plus, they just confirmed it by playing Crashing Footfalls. At least this will be a good matchup to check if Necromantia is good. So nothing crazy here. We will cast our Heritage Druid and pass the turn. Hopefully next turn we can play our Collected Company. So we always check what they put on the bottom of their deck when they're cascading. It was a Force of Negation, 1 Dead Gun, and another Footfalls. No, actually they cast the Footfalls. Sorry. There's not much I can do at this point. I'm actually gonna fire the Collected Company on my turn because they have only 3 cards in hand. My company hit an Archdruid, a Warmaster, another Archdruid, Llanowar Elves, Curian Ranger. Of course we're gonna get Archdruid and Warmaster, hoping that we can pump with Warmaster into turns and actually stabilize. I'm not gonna block at this point. They bounce my Elvish Archdruid back in hand with their Brazen Borrower, and then they Fury the rest of my board. I was demolished. I lose game 1 and I'm going to game 2. So this is a match that I'm gonna test Necromantia, and it's good against them. I'm bringing a playset as well as 4 Linen of Vitality. I do shave the Vizier combo off because they have a lot of removals. I'm going to remove 2 Chords of Calling as well as 1 Finale. Skuz isn't good in this matchup, neither is Grist. So I'm going to play again with 61 cards, and I'm going to test this. So let's see how it goes. So game 2, we're playing first. This is not a hand that will help us win against Rhinos, so I'm mulliganing this. This is an even worse hand, so I'm definitely not gonna keep this because I don't even have a 1-drop to play. Plus, most of my hand is unplayable. So I'm gonna mulligan down to 5, and this is the hand that I'm gonna keep. At this point, I will bottom the ley line as well as the cavern. I do want to keep the fetch land because Rhinos sometimes plays Blood Moon. Turn 1, we're gonna play our mana dork and go from there. The killer mana dork. I'm gonna fetch for black in case I draw Necromantia in a 3rd land. They cast a Crash and Footfalls, and they have it in exile here. And I do get the 3rd land. This is when I'm actually gonna fetch for a basic. I don't have a Vizier anyway to get. And we have Necromantia on top. I guess this is the time to see if the card is good. They don't do anything. I do hope... first of all, I'm going to play my Curion Ranger to see if they do anything to interact. They don't. And before I do anything, and before even attacking, I'm going to try to cast Necromantia to see what they have, to see how it goes. And that's actually when the opponent conceded, because they didn't want me to see their hand, and they knew probably that if I take Rhinos out of their deck, they won't be able to win. So we go to our game number 3. So game number 3, we're playing 2nd against Rhinos. Game 2 was probably won by Necromantia, which is a plus. This is a perfectly fine hand. It has Leyline, it has 2 lands. We're gonna keep it. And we go from there. And we draw Necromantia again. And I really hope that I will be able to cast it on turn 2. Obviously the opponent had a different idea than me. And I decide to play the Verdant Catacombs over the Nurturing Peatland in case they try to play Blood Moon. They put a Brazen Borrower, 2 lands on the bottom, and they cast the Rhinos. There we go. I will cast Necromantia. Sorry, let me show you what they had in hand. Actually, they had in hand, here it is. No, you cannot see it, but they did have a Blood Moon in hand. I did take the rest of the Rhinos out of theirs, and we go on from there. They also had a Prismatic Command. They do have a very good clock though, because they have a 2/4/4 trample creatures. And my company has to hit very well at this point to be back in the game. So, my company hit an Archdruid and a Curion Ranger. Sorry for going a little bit too fast there. The Archdruid is an obvious choice because it gives me mana. And I have a Zora in hand, which will help me stabilize the game. Prismatic Command, and then Fire and Ice. It was not Fire and Ice, it was actually... No, yeah, it was Fire and Ice to kill my druid. And that's when things get a bit bad and I lose. So that was for the Rhinos matchup. I did think though that Necromantia did work and it did what it had to do. They were just playing first, and they had more removal than I could handle. That was for the matchup.